I see several of you people on the call today, and I just want to say thank you guys for taking time out of your busy schedule and your lives and your families and your work and your business to show up to this call today. This is a 1-hour call. You're definitely in the right place if you want to stop doing, of course in the real world it's called 9 to 5, but in our world it's basically 24/7. And what my hope for you guys in all of this is that you will glean some information from this so that you can finally make the money that you truly want to make based upon your own intellectual property. I'm going to explain that more. I am going to open up the call at the end for questions, and this is a 1-hour call, but we leave about 15 minutes at the end. Sometimes we go a little bit over. I just want to respect your time on that. And this call is being recorded. You will get this recording as well at the end. We'll make sure and send that out to everybody. I want to tell you about the control box that you have on your screen. On that control box you will see questions, and then you also will see a chat area as well. So if you have some questions about anything that we are talking about, please put your questions in there. If I ask you guys a question, then you are welcome to put it in the chat, or if it is easier, you can just type it right into where the questions are. Either one, I will find it. So we will go ahead and get started. Oh, hang on, I'm having a hard time advancing. For some reason my arrows are not working. Here we go. Okay. Here's a little bit about some of the fine print. For those of you guys, I know some of you guys are all over the country, and again, thank you for joining us. I have a very thick Texas accent at times, and for some people that bothers them, and other people it doesn't. So if I say something funny, just bear with me. You're welcome to make fun of me in the chat box. A lot of the things that I'm going to talk about on this webinar is you're either going to agree or disagree. This particular information that I'm going to present you guys today is a little bit outside of the box. It is probably not what you're used to, but what I want you to do is I want you to kind of think bigger, step outside of that box and kind of think differently about who you are as a chef and really making money around that. Honestly, it's things that you do on an everyday basis. Again, there is going to be a Q&A at the end for you guys to ask questions, but you're also welcome to put it in that question field as well. I also wanted to let you know that we're going to talk about a lot of things on this particular webinar. Some of you guys we're going to go really deep for, and some of you guys you're going to have just a great understanding of these principles in this particular webinar. But what I hope that you guys will actually get is the concept of what I want to teach you guys, because if you can get the concept of this, don't worry about the how, because as we go along you guys are going to hear things like there's no way I can do that. I don't even know where the on switch is on my computer. Don't worry about that. I want you guys to have the concept. I want you guys to think bigger. The content I'm going to give you, there's a ton of information in here on this particular webinar. Most of it, and I hope all of it, you can use right away. I hope to excite you guys so much about this content that you can go out and set the world on fire. But I can only cover so much in the 60 minutes that we have time together. Most likely you'll want to take it further, you'll have questions, or you'll just want more information. And I'm going to let you know about that a little bit. What I want you to do right now is sit back, take some notes, relax, and just focus on this really great content that I'm going to teach you. At the very end, going to tie it all together, and so you'll want to stay to the very end because we kind of try to wrap a nice ribbon around it at that point. And I just got a text that I am breaking up. So Candace, if you could kind of keep, okay, it says I'm fine now. I want to make sure that you guys are able to hear me really well. Making sure there's no questions so far, or nobody has put. Yeah, somebody just let me know that I was breaking up, but I think you guys can hear me now. Just to let you guys know, if something happens to the technology, and it does happen sometime, that I will make sure and re-record this and get you a very clean copy. So please don't worry about if the technology does something weird and it actually ends up breaking up. Who is this webinar for? This particular webinar is for the chefs, culinary business owners out there that are tired of possibly working for somebody else, or know that you have valuable content to share, but you're just not really sure how to get that out. You work really, really long hours and you don't really get to see your family that much or do the things you love. And so we created this webinar specifically for you so that you could have almost a way out, or a better or a different way of doing things. I don't want you to misunderstand me. If you still work for someone else, you're still employed and someone is paying you a paycheck, that's perfectly fine. The things that I'm going to teach you guys on this particular webinar is going to be information that you can even do in your off hours. So there's going to be a little bit of everything for people in this particular webinar. I know for most of you guys sitting there, you're still trading dollars for hours. So you're getting paid from someone else that is basically telling you what your worth is through your paycheck. And again, not everyone is meant to open and own their own business. And at some point, we all start out trading dollars for hours. I want to teach you how to think bigger so that we can kind of get out of that particular mindset. There's a rule in business, and it is called the 80-20 rule. Let me tell you about that. 80% of your income will come from about 20% of your clients. So for those of you guys that own a business, or even for some of you guys that are working for other people, think about those people that buy over and over and over from you. Whether they come into the restaurant, or they buy the cooking classes, or they buy the personal chef services, you have some real fans out there. And what you will realize is that the majority of your income will come from 20% of those clients. What we have to capture in thinking about this really big picture is what 20% of those clients really want. What is it about you and your food or your company that keeps that 20% of that segment coming back? On the other hand, there's about 20% of your clients who will also take 80% of your time. You know who these clients are. These are the clients that complain about everything, no matter what you do. But they will take 80% of your time. Once you see it in writing like this, it's very hard to consider why in the world would you not move toward that 20% of the people that bring you the most amount of income. But as you do your work from day in and day out, run your business, do the things that you do, it's very easy to get stuck in that day-to-day happenings and let that 20% of your clients that drive you nuts kind of take over and dwell in that. When I figured this out, that the status quo was that 20% of clients that drained 80% of my energy, I was really able to give myself permission to get rid of those guys, and that I was tired of working to make money for somebody else, when a lot of times I know that you guys are sitting there thinking, I'm better than they are anyway. This seems to be what happens when you're a chef, is you work really long hours with absolutely no family time and doing the things that you love. It takes a very special spouse to be married to a chef. And I heard one time that you don't just marry the chef, you marry the chef and the business that they work for. And I know that that is so true. That's what I want to teach you guys today, is that it doesn't have to be that way. The other thing I hear whenever I work with my coaching clients is I rely on one or two really big clients. Well, I want to ask you, what happens if those one or two clients would go away? Yes, you would have clients to fall back on, but eventually, we usually rely on one or two really big clients. And for a lot of us, that's very scary because we don't know how to find other clients. A lot of us still kind of live via word of mouth. Well, when I realized that I wanted to stop all of this, what I did was about 3 years ago, I created a company specifically. I have actually 3 companies now, all in culinary, to help other chefs stop that status quo, because I feel like that I figured it out at that point. Just a little bit about me and why I'm even qualified to teach you guys this stuff. I was an Amazon bestseller, author, and speaker. My book is called So You're a Chef, Now What? And everybody loves that title because you step out of culinary school, you're going to set the world on fire, and then you absolutely have no clue what to do at that point. At this point, I've had 5, now 6 really successful culinary businesses, and everything from catering to a restaurant. I said I'd never have a restaurant, and now I have a restaurant again that I am building. I have a very successful culinary medicine company where we do nutrition education and personal chef services, as well as Chef Ed, which I mentor and coach. I have the honor of mentoring and coaching chefs all over the country. And next is we work with, and it's actually more than 25, we work with about 25 to 30 clients a week from a personal chef standpoint. We have 2 to 3 caterings a week, and then we also have our nutrition clients as well. I normally have about a staff of 6, so as you guys can imagine, excuse me, that has its challenges as well. One of the things that I really want you guys to get is that the world needs the exact skill set that you already have. A lot of you guys are sitting there thinking, well, yes, I already knew that. Let me explain this a little bit differently. There's a reason why you were born at the exact time that you were born, because there was a missing skill set in the world that if you had not been born, it still would be missing. When you were born, the world needed the exact skill set that you possess. What I want you guys to realize how to get that out and make that a sellable product so that you can make money in your sleep. The strategies that we're going to use to do that is we're going to talk about list building. Some of you guys have heard that, some of you haven't, but I'm going to tell you why that's so important. We're going to talk about actually designing these products, or these intellectual property products. And then I'm going to kind of help you guys put it all together. The putting it all together, not going to be super in-depth, because I know that even though I can't see you guys, I would get kind of a deer in the headlight look from a lot of you guys. So just understand that those are the 3 steps that we are going to take. The whole principle is actually around something that we call a digital product. So if you've ever downloaded a book from Kindle or from Amazon, that's a digital product. You paid somebody money to download something. You got the product into your inbox. You were then able to use it. What happened as a result of that is then something that's called digital marketing. You probably got a thank you email that says, thank you so much for purchasing my whatever that is, my book. A few days later, you probably got another email that says, now that you've purchased my book, maybe you would be interested in blah, blah, blah. A few days later, you got an email that said, I see that you didn't click on my second offer. I hope you're enjoying the book. Here's a free recipe. Here's a free ebook, whatever that is. I think that you guys kind of understand what I'm saying here. So the world of digital products is huge. The reason that it's huge is because you can create it once and you can sell it thousands and thousands of times, even more than that. You can have it running on a very simple website and something called evergreen that literally people can download this. You're not a part of it at all, whatever this is for you guys. I'm going to give you some examples. That's how you make money in your sleep. Some of you guys are sitting there saying, I don't have anything to offer. Let me tell you, if you're on this webinar, you certainly have something to offer. I have yet to meet a chef, culinary business owner, or even just a business owner of some type of other business that did not have something to share from a intellectual property or make money while you sleep. Any digital products or any goods that are stored, delivered, and used in electronic format, such as the ebook that we talked about before. As we go along, again, I'm going to give you some examples of this. We talked about digital marketing. Digital marketing is what helps get your product out to the world. I want you guys on this particular webinar to really think outside the box. And what do I mean by that? What do you do over and over again that people have asked you to show them how to do? So maybe it's that people have asked you to show them how you plan menus so well. You do it over and over again and you don't even get paid for it. Maybe you make jams and jellies and people just love that from you. And they ask you over and over again for you to show them how to make jams and jellies. I know for some of the chefs on the call that some of the things that I have heard also is I have to explain to death over and over again to my sous chef my secret recipe for fried chicken. Fill in the blank. You guys kind of get the idea. The thing is that what people ask you for over and over again and what you teach over and over again can be a very viable product. Because if a couple of people want it, a whole lot of people will want it. What class or presentation do you present over and over again that if you were to video that you could make money in your sleep? Well, let me give you an example of this one because even though I can't see you, I know that I have some wheels turning now. What if you are a cooking class instructor and the most requested class for you is a seafood class? We'll just call it that. And you could give this class in your sleep. What if when you were giving these classes that if you would video them? Don't go crazy here. I'm not saying that you have to you have to purchase a whole, video setup or hire a video crew. That is not what I'm saying. These are simple videos on your iPhone. You video each class that you teach on that. There is something simple in the digital marketing world, digital product world, called a landing page. It is a simple page that is kind of like a website, but only one page. There's lots of places you can build it for free. Let me go back. You make mention on this page that you have taught over and over again these amazing fish or seafood recipes. And they can buy them one at a time, or you will group them together in a package. Seriously. They can be stored, the videos can be stored on YouTube in a private area, and you can attach a PayPal link to this particular page. Now what happens is when people want you to do these classes, you can say, absolutely. I have two ways that you can get that information. You can go to www. blah, 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 whatever that landing page is. Let me send you the link. Or now at this point, your dollars per hour amount will go up, because at this point, they can get it virtually, but to get you live in person will cost quite a bit more money. So yes, you will go back to trading dollars for hours, but the beauty of that is now you won't mind trading dollars for hours because of the amount of money that you will make. Otherwise, you can send them to the URL, this particular landing page, and they can download it all day long. You can use that same URL, post it on social media, and say, hey guys, check out my latest classes. You don't even have to get off your couch. You can stay in the comfort of your PJs and learn how to make this really great fish dish. I hope that some of you guys' wheels are turning a little bit faster now, or there's some aha moments out there. Do you have recipes that, let me stop real quick. Kimberly asked me to please explain what evergreen is. Kimberly, I'll explain that in just a minute. Let me finish this thought. Do you have recipes that people will kill for if you were to put them in a book? Don't get crazy with this one either. This can be something so simple that you can easily type up 10 recipes that you use over and over and over again. Simple PDF. In a Word document, change it to a PDF so that it cannot be changed. And you can put all 10 of them in a Word document there and type up a cover page for them. This is all done digitally, stored on your computers. All you're doing is just typing recipes. Make them look nice, format them. You guys get the idea. But what I mean by that is now you have created a recipe book. Some of you guys are sitting there saying, what's the big deal? It's a bunch of papers and recipes that they could get someplace else on Pinterest. It is a big deal, because if you market that as my top 10 recipes that are chef-driven and, family tested, or my top 10 recipes that I've used over the past 15 years to amaze my clients, or the top 20 recipes that restaurants that I have consulted with have paid me thousands of dollars, and now you can have them for, we'll call this one $12.99. I'm not, since these are recipes, you guys kind of get the idea of what I'm saying, but still, those can be held digitally. You can also you can put all those in something called Dropbox, which is free. You can send, it's Dropbox.com. It can hold all kinds of documents. If somebody is interested in buying those, then you send them a PayPal link. Then once they pay it, then you send them the Dropbox link where your recipes are stored. These also make really great opt-ins that you give away for free to get them to buy bigger services. When I was talking about the cooking classes that you may video over and over again, sell them singularly or sell them in packages, you're looking at, $25 or $30 a class. You package them in classes of 4, give them a little bit of a discount, and now you're making $100 and $120. Well, it's something that you only did once and it's stored. So if you get 3 or 4 people downloading those a week, or even more than that, I don't do math well, but you've made, $300 to $500, and you didn't even do anything for it but teach the class once. Kimberly, your question about evergreen. There is a way to set up your digital products in a system that's called evergreen. All that means is that once you kind of get into this digital product world, what will happen is there's a program and has a nominal fee that will, once you write a little bit of copy for it or a marketing strategy that says, hey, have you tried my latest and greatest, way to cook pasta, or, the best creme brulee ever, this is my 4-part cooking series. There's actually a program out there that will do that for you. It will automatically post on social media. It will automatically email your list of names, which we are going to talk about, to where you're doing nothing for it, but you basically just press go. And what happens is people can download it based upon a campaign that you set up that you did nothing for. Once you have it set up and it just pressed go. You just press go. If on your website, you can constantly have it as a product on your website or your landing page, that you can set it up to where it's done automatically or evergreen. People press buy now, and then it gets sent to them. They get an email sequence that then says, thank you for buying. Oh, by the way, would you be interested in? There are programs out there that will do all of that for you, that you don't have to do anything but set it up once. I hope that answered your question. And it looks like Mashev says, why would people buy my recipe video opposed for just watching the Food Network? That I figured that question would come up, and I'm going to answer that shortly. Do you often gather people together in a group and take them through a process? So this could be a cooking class. You could be a culinary instructor teaching your students mother sauces, teaching your students knife skills. You may be the one in the neighborhood that people come over to your house because you throw the most amazing dinner parties, and people are always asking you, how do you get all this together? Could you explain to me how you do this? You may be a personal chef that people say, I don't understand how you can just step into someone's kitchen and automatically just cook in a stranger's kitchen when I still can't find the salt in my own kitchen. What I want you to realize is that that's a process that you already have in your mind. To you, it is second nature that you just automatically do this. But to the rest of the world, it is just absolutely baffling. So why should people buy your recipe video as opposed to watching the Food Network or a free YouTube channel? Because people want information. How many times, only because it is convenient and it was all packaged together, that you went ahead and bought it instead of searching YouTube or the web for it and you putting it all together in one package? Besides, if you're selling something like this on a landing page or in a classroom setting somewhere, you're in front of people. They know you, they love you, they trust you, they can touch you. They don't know people on YouTube. They don't know people on Pinterest. Number one, people are lazy. They want it one and done for them, and they want a relationship. There is no difference of why Rachel Ray can sell a bowl, a mixing bowl, in a grocery store and call it a trash bowl, and people climb over themselves to get it. There's a mixing bowl sitting right next to it, but because she packaged it and it's her name on it, people are automatically going to buy it because she has established herself as an expert. Hope that makes sense. I want to introduce you to Chef Sandra, and I think this is going to kind of drive the point home a little bit more for some of you guys. Chef Sandra originally, I started working with Chef Sandra, and she had this passion for gardening. I mean, her family can grow anything in a tin can. I mean, seriously, a jar, any container. Her family can grow these amazing gardens. We rebranded Chef Sandra Fresh from the Gardens. She was Sandra Serving, didn't fit her at all. Long story, but the thing about Chef Sandra is that she had a passion for teaching people how to garden. Well, the only problem was she was working for a caterer, and she couldn't figure out how to make that transition. So what we did with Chef Sandra is one of her offerings is I had her break up the process that she would teach somebody, even though it was second nature to her, that she would teach somebody on how to garden. We came up with about three different succinct phases. One, you have to make sure that your land is good. You have to know what you're going to plant. You have to know if the plants will survive, if you need water, all of those things. The second thing is basically how to care for it, because there's lots of things you have to do to care for a garden. The third thing is, now that I've got the garden and everything grew, what do I do with all this fresh produce? So not only did she break that up in a digital nature where she has videos, she can take people through these different processes and classes. You can buy each phase of that, or you can buy it all together. But the beauty in what started happening with Chef Sandra is that people wanted her services one-on-one. So now what she's doing is she's teaching people how to garden in 3 separate phases, charging several thousands of dollars for it, doing absolutely what she loves. Well, the beauty in this is what happens is those clients would then roll into her classes for canning and preserving. She was teaching people how to can and preserve for years, but this girl is making strawberry lavender jam with vanilla bean, with the actual vanilla bean still in it. So then they would roll over into her cooking classes, one-on-one or videoed online that they were able to download. It didn't matter, because one client turned into the next client, and it became a cycle for her. So she was able to sell her time for a lot higher price, and she's doing what she loves. So if people have asked you, will you show me how to garden because your herbs are just absolutely amazing, and you're thinking, well, doesn't everybody know how to garden? I can promise you that they don't, because I can't grow cilantro to save my life. Let me tell you about Chef Elena. Elena was a little bit different. Whenever you're thinking about this, let me try to put this into words. Elena was very unusual in that Elena is in the Manhattan, Brooklyn area. And Elena was in business with her brother, and they were doing these great Italian meals and catering and some cooking classes. The cool thing about Elena is in her previous life, Elena actually has a certification in food therapy, and she loved teaching life skills classes to special dietary needs, or I believe the correct word nowadays is differently abled people that this was a life skill that they needed. Well, Elena's true calling was to do that. It wasn't to create the next best amazing plate of food that people would ooh and awe over. Eventually, we took Elena and we gave her the opportunity, and I guess the permission more than anything, to build a business around doing these very specialized, very niche cooking classes. Well, Elena wrote all the curriculum for them, and she was teaching them one-on-one at a higher rate, but also as a group at different centers, one of which is a Jewish center in Brooklyn where she lives. And then what she realized was happening is that other chefs were asking her for her curriculums for this because they wanted to add this into their business. So Elena went from catering to doing what she really loved with these really special people and teaching them a life skill, automating that, money while you sleep that we're talking about, also doing one-on-one, but then she became a train the trainer, and she's creating workbooks and modules now, and whole programs for other chefs to do this, but also she's taken that a step further, is now she's making additions for schools so that she can teach the teachers and parents how to give their children this very necessary life skill. Some of you guys are sitting there thinking, yes, you're right. I don't have the money. I don't know how this works. Like I said, can't even turn on my computer. Well, the thing about it is that owning your own business or even stepping outside of your comfort zone, the thing about it is that you have to make decisions based upon where you want to go and not where you are now. If you never get these thought processes out of your head, these really great products, get a whiteboard, get a yellow pad, and literally write down not only the steps that it takes to do these products, but you can actually start with a brainstorming session of what is it that people ask me to do over and over again that I am sick to death explaining, that I am tired of teaching, that I don't even know why anybody wants this stuff because this is so easy. Once you get that out of your head, then take one or two of those and write down the steps that you go through to teach someone that. Even if you have to grab a friend or a family member and say, I'm going to teach you how to, and then you write those steps down. That is your intellectual product. That is your make money while you sleep. Did I skip? Nope, it was just me. One of the cool things about intellectual products, and I've already alluded to some of it, is that you can sell these as one-offs. So maybe you're doing a whole cooking series on seafood, but somebody only wants the shrimp section. So you can sell just that particular class, or you can bundle them all together. Like I said, that package the classes together. If you guys will see on the screen, that's one of the things that this particular chef did, a Pro Chef's Recipes for Fun, Fearless Home Cooking. I put this on here because of the question that I was asked in the question section is, well, so what? Can't I just go download those recipes? Why would people pay for them? Well, the same thing. I bet every one of the recipes in her digital book, you can go find in other places. She packaged them together for you, and she put a really great book cover on it. Guys, there is a website called Upwork, W-O-R-K, upwork.com. that you can go on there and say, I need help with the cover of a cookbook. I need help writing copy for my landing page. I need help putting together a digital product around 10 recipes. You can literally go on there and someone will help you a lot of times for about $6 an hour. Seriously. You can get so much done for $50 or $60. Now, yes, some of them are in other countries. Some of them are here. They know English very well. They converse very well. The thing about it is there's a way out there if there's the will for you to do this. You can also, say you were doing, remember those steps that I told you about, is take the idea that that people ask you to do over and over again, and write down those steps. Well, the thing about it is each of those steps can also become an ebook. So, for example, on the book that I wrote, So You're a Chef, Now What? There are different chapters. There is a chapter on marketing. There is a chapter on, thinking bigger. There is a chapter on hiring people. There's a chapter on mindset. What I could do with my book, if I chose to, is I could pull each of those chapters out. I can create my own ebook with that. It doesn't have to be complicated. I don't have to have a publisher. If I had a chapter that I wrote out, again, it can live in Dropbox. You can attach a PayPal link to an email that you send somebody. Very, very easily they can buy that from you. A lot of conferences that we attend as business owners and even chefs, a lot of times what people have done is they have written a book. Then what they did is they created a whole conference around it where people come someplace to a brick and mortar, and they've taught classes around each chapter in that book. So I hope that this is some light bulbs are going off right now. If you've got something that you've written on your computer and one day you just wanted to get it out of your head, that is intellectual property, and I can guarantee you somebody wants to buy it. Intellectual, because we all stand behind stoves, work for other people, whatever, it is very hard because a lot of, if you went to culinary school, they taught you, you're going to come from here, you're going to work on somebody's line, you're going to wash dishes, you're going to do all of those things. What they didn't teach you is there's a bigger world out there for chefs to think virtually, this money while you sleep concept. Because I don't care who you are as a chef, you may love the process of preparing food, the smell of the onions, the sizzle of the garlic, and the crunch of bacon, or, lighting something on fire, or just this perfect creaminess of a creme brulee. But you went to culinary school for a reason. And the reason is bigger than that creme brulee or those onions or garlic. It is because, yes, you wanted to feed people, but you wanted to show your love through food. You wanted to heal people. You wanted to bring families together again. We all have egos a lot of times as chef. Yes, you want the praise and all of those other things. But there is a reason why you became a chef. There is a bigger purpose behind the food that you do. So the intellectual products that I'm talking about here is you have the different, you can do in person, you can do video where it's on a landing page. You can have you can have one for each store. So what do I mean by that? So in other words, you don't have to stick necessarily with just cooking classes. If you then also love to garden and you want to do a whole brand around gardening, you can do that as well. How many of you guys how many people have asked you to just show me how to shop? Oh my God, if I could just shop the grocery store like you do and get in and out in 30 minutes. That's a sellable product. I used to do grocery store tours all the time, and then I got so tired of it, and then I did them virtually. So even something that we take for granted like a grocery store. Um, we were talking about your list. The key in a lot of this that I'm talking about now is not detrimental if you don't have one, but your list is your list of email addresses and names of people that care about what you do. Current clients, family members, friends, past clients, people that have asked you about your services or asked you about a particular product. That is where you will tell them about what you're doing. It's a simple email. So you've gathered this list of names together, and what happens is you then send an email. It's not spam. You send them an email that says, thought you might be interested in this, or you expressed interest in. I'm kind of simplifying how important your list is and how many things you can do with your list. But as people contact you, you keep all of those names. Where do you keep them? You can keep them on an Excel spreadsheet. You can even keep them in something called MailChimp. It's M-A-I-L, like the monkey, chimp, C-H-I-M-P, MailChimp.com. It's free. You can even store a lot of your digital products in there and send them out. It's a free way to do it. Somebody asked, Keegan asked, are there copyright or trademark issues that we need to be aware of? Well, if it is your own intellectual property, you do not. You will want to protect it, but you have to understand that a lot of the information out there nowadays are information that people have taken and tweaked themselves. On every computer there is a little TM. You may have to Google it on your computer. You can put that with anything that you created. It automatically becomes yours. You can also hire an attorney to have the T in the circle too. That's later on what you know you're going to make money with it. But as long as you're not stealing somebody else's words or ideas and they are your own, then that's not something that you have to worry about. Let me tell you, we're going to skip this particular, I'll go back to Chef Wanda in just a little bit, but there's some of the things that we talked about that you use that you can actually keep your list of names in, and also you can type up a sequence in here that will help you with that evergreen information that we talked about before. The nurture sequences we also talked about before. That's where they're stored. Again, MailChimp here, completely free. The others will cost you money. Chef Bianca said you have to ask permission to film video in a grocery store. Yes, you do have to get permission. Some of them will let you, some of them will not. Some of them are glad to see a chef in there. I've been met with both. So just make sure you talk to the general manager ahead of time. Most of the time they are very willing for you to do that, especially if you give them a shout out and tell them where you are. So I know that you guys have a lot of questions like, so how do you sell it? I don't have a clue what product to sell. I won't have the time to get this all done. I'm not good at all this computer stuff. Or how do I even get it created? What I want you guys to understand is just get started. Don't make this complicated. Let me give you an example. So I had a chef. She has companies. She goes from the U.S. to Mexico all the time. And she is a low-fat, vegan, raw, fruitarian chef. That's what that's what type of chef that she is. She was going to teach this philosophy at a conference where she was doing a keynote, and I said, you have to have something to sell these people. What she did is, because she knew this concept so well and people wanted to learn from her, we very simply put together a program for her for $49.99 a month, I believe it was. Maybe it was $59.99 a month while she was there. And all she did is she sent them 3 emails a week for inspiration. In those emails, there was a recipe that was included sometime. She created and all she did was simply email them. She did not have a fancy system to do it. It was just an email that she sat down and wrote a couple of sentences for inspiration. They had a private Facebook group that they were on, that they could get on there and ask questions. And then she did a live Q&A call with them once a month. There's free software out there that allow you to do that as well. It was a recurring charge for this particular thing whenever they signed up at the conference. She added a few more, bonus things in there, like the first, she talked with, she would give them a consult for free for anybody that signed up at that particular conference. She had 100 people sign up at $50 a month. That was money that she was sending an email out, she was responding on a Facebook group, and she was on a 1-hour call once a month with this particular group of people. I'm being asked by Liz, what's the website for Evergreen? Evergreen is a concept that that most CRMs like MailChimp, CRM, Customer Relationship Management, like MailChimp, will do for you. It's a way that you set it up. A lot of different programs will do that. It's a concept. And then there's some programs you can actually Google Evergreen software that only do that for you. So Evergreen is more of a concept. We talked about hard copies too. If you don't want to do like recipes and simple recipe books via selling them online or through Dropbox or your landing page, you can very simply print out 10 to 15 of your top recipes. It sounds so simple. Make them pretty by, making sure they're edited well, clean paper, staple them together. People love chefs. People will buy a set of staple piece from you. You can always start that way at events that you go to, at tastings that you go to. Anywhere where your business is showing up around a group of people, or even you as a standalone chef, I promise you, people will buy them. They love chef recipes. Eventually, like I said, you can use that as an online link. Like this particular webinar that we're doing now, we will convert this into an MP3 so people can listen to it in their car. It is very easy to take several recordings that you do and sell them together, or even use them as a free giveaway for a product you're trying to sell. So in other words, hey, I just did a whole presentation on menu planning. Here's the free MP3 of it so that you can listen to it while you're in the car. But on that MP3, you might have what's called an upsell so that they can work with you one-on-one. So there's lots of ways to use these particular products. I talked about using at events that you're physically at, speaking events. For those of you guys that do nutrition education classes, a lot of times people will ask you to speak to a group of people, and then again, launching it online through Dropbox and landing pages and things like that. Webinars like this one, like I said, make great bonuses. Even Sir Latab got into the game, and they got tired of no one showing up to their cooking classes. So they put all their classes online. That way they don't have to pay instructors to be there. It's the same information anyway. And now they've got people downloading in their PJs in the middle of the night. The cool thing about this is once you do this once, you can launch it over and over. You can launch it once a month, whatever this intellectual property is for you. It's not a one-time and done type of thing. You can, I know some people that launch their products weekly because social media changes and the people that they meet change. People are going to see different things at different times. We talked about turning one-on-ones with clients into products, kind of like the nutrition, those of you guys that teach nutrition, where you sit down and talk to people about food plans and their diets and menu plannings. All of that is intellectual property. Chef Wanda that I flipped through earlier, the cool thing about Chef Wanda is she created the first ever vegan dining hall. And she took that concept, turned that into a book, and now she sells that books to other college campuses. She works for the Humane Society. The Humane Society sends her out to teach at Yale and Harvard and all of these amazing classes about plant-based cooking, eating, and nutrition. Well, what is starting to happen is she's saying the same thing over and over again, and now what's happening is she's going to package together what she says over and over again to these guys, along with her book, her manual that she created for vegan dining halls. Those go hand in hand, and she's going to sell those for several thousands of dollars, and it's sometimes tens of thousands of dollars, but if you want her price just went up. Social media is huge when it comes to these intellectual products. We've talked about that some. You make a big to-do on social media and get your friends to make a big deal about you just created the latest and greatest cooking class series or way of organizing your kitchen. I promise you, if you build it, they will come if you tell people about it. Friends are great to help you with all of this stuff. Affiliate programs. You have a friend or a family member that knows everybody to include God personally, then tell them they can have a percentage of your sales in order to get the word out. There's all kind of details when it comes to putting together affiliate programs. Like I said, I just kind of want to get this idea in your head. Facebook ads, that's something that we do as well for some of the products that we have. Again, don't get caught up in how, just understand that it's a way to get your product out there. Start paying attention to Facebook ads. People love it when you become a guest blogger for them. Bloggers are amazing to help you get the word out, especially in the food and bev industry. You find a blogger that has, thousands of followers, get them to try your product, whatever that is for you. They'll write about it all day long. Send them the link, pay them a little bit of a referral fee, and you have a ton of money while you sleep. Mindset is the majority of why most business owners and chefs, if you're not a business owner yet, do not move forward with money while you sleep and intellectual products. Believe me, like I said, you were put on this earth for a reason. Get past, I can't, I don't understand the technology, and just take the first step in getting it out of your head, figuring out what people have asked you for over and over again, or what you keep doing over and over again. Get that out of your head, get that on some piece of paper, and make it very simple for yourself. And if you can, I'm sure if you ask your 5-year-old son, daughter, grandson, or granddaughter that they'll be happy to help you work the computer, because I have to get my kids to help me with my computer. So don't be scared of the technology. The best thing that I can offer for you guys, this is one of my favorite slides, is the law of Goya. And get off your ass and do something your future self will thank you for. Seriously, That is the first step in getting this done, is to decide that you're going to do it. You are tired of the status quo. You're tired of working for other people. You're tired of not seeing your family. You're tired of not making the money that you truly deserve. You're tired of trading those dollars for hours. This is a very first step in getting you to think bigger and taking what you are really, really good at and turning that into a product. I'm not telling you not to cook anymore. Cook because you love it, but I don't want you to be a slave anymore to your stove. This is my whole intent. Now, some of you guys are already emailing me, asking me about how do I do this? How do I put this all together? How can I take this further, because I am just at a loss? You gave me all these really great ideas, but now what? As a result of these webinars, I created something called the eChef Club. It is an amazing group of chefs that come together and they solve their problems. They work on business ideas. A lot of them are intellectual products, and some of them have a brick and mortar business. The cool thing about it is this is such a small investment for a huge return. You have monthly happy hour Q&A calls that are recorded, so if you cannot make the call, you can still learn from other chefs that happen with chefs across the country. We're also going to have experts that are going to teach you about how to run your business, how to create these products, how they did it in their business, how they ran their businesses. We all share resources. You need a food questionnaire. You need to know how to do a certain cooking class. You need to know how somebody else did it, how to market. We all share all of that. That goes along with the networking with the other chefs and culinary leaders. Every single business day, you will get an email from me of running your own culinary business. Tips in your inbox every day. Some of them even have worksheets with them. The other thing that a lot of people like is access, and it's not a recipe co-op, it is actually a menu planning co-op that you're a part of. People, chefs across the country, it's just kind of a cool thing. They dump their menus in there that they're working on, and you can get inspiration from other chefs. Like I said, you can't make it to these calls that we have. It's no big deal because we will record them. You're also part of a private Facebook group that there's chefs from around the country and even in other countries that will come on and ask questions about running your own culinary business and how to develop these intellectual products that everyone will learn from each other so that you don't have to make the mistakes that other people have made. There's an example of some of the eChef tips that you get in your inbox. That's just a brief example. They're actually very long. Some of them are paragraphs long that you get, so you get that inspiration to stay on track. There's the private Facebook group that I actually spoke about earlier, that you can network with chefs. As chefs, we're alone. We spend a lot of time alone. Either that or no one gets us. This is an opportunity for a group of people to actually get what you do and who you are. I love this group. There's so much interaction that happens in it. And again, you don't have to make the same mistakes. We talked about expert interviews. There's just a few of the people that we have interviewed. We've had celebrities come on. We've had really seasoned chefs come on. We've had chefs in other countries come on, and you can learn from them and ask them questions about their biggest marketing technique or what they wish that they would have learned. Everybody is so willing to share with you as a whole. There's Chef Sandra again. I introduced you guys to Chef Sandra earlier with Fresh from the Gardens, and then Chef Diana was a registered nurse, and now she's doing corporate team building classes and personal chef services, and just phenomenally doing so well and so incredibly happy with developing the products and running her own business. Chef Madeline, absolutely the same way, commercial kitchen. She's doing so well and just extremely, extremely happy. Limited time offer on this phone call. Seriously, guys, if you go to my website, this is $69, and so this is $49 a month. If I'm going to show you guys the link, but we also have it in the chat section as well. So if you click on the chat section, it's there. If you guys are interested in this, want to sign up for it, there are amazing group of chefs that are waiting for you to help you, and I would absolutely love to have you in this. We have, gosh, multiple chefs. I think there's 50 or 60 chefs in some of these programs all over the country, and have really been able to grow their culinary business their way. One of the things I wanted to let you guys know about is if you sign up before this call is over, then not only do you get the eChef Club, but you also get this business success toolkit, as well as how to get an instant clients guide that we're going to give you right off the bat. This is such a cool thing, this editorial calendar, which actually helps you to figure out how to market to your clients based upon what is going on. I mean, this is a one-and-done marketing program for you. Some of you guys have asked for my food questionnaire in the past that I actually give to clients for my personal chef services. For some of you guys that just simply won't matter, but it's there for a lot of people. The cool thing about it is too is before this call is over, for anybody that signs up on this call, you actually get a 30-minute strategy session with me for, again, this is $49 a month. It's regularly $69. You can cancel absolutely at any time that you want to. I just have to have 30 days notice. You are not locked into a contract. I wanted to make this super simple for you guys to start making the money that you deserve. And you're going to have the support of other chefs across the country that are going to help you. And we're going to start you out right with a 30-minute strategy session. We're going to lay it all out for you guys and give you a blueprint to get you started off right, regardless of what level of business that you're in. So again, if you will look in the chat section, that is the link right there for you to sign up for eChef Club. So as I said, you get eChef Club plus 5 bonuses, but the cool thing about it is that 30-minute strategy session that's going to save you well over $100 to kind of kickstart everything. I'm going to answer a few questions here in just a little bit. If anybody has any questions about the eChef Club, I am happy to answer those as well. This club has been going on for well over 3 years. It's one that I am super proud of as well. So if you guys have any questions about anything, and feel free to put them in the questions section. Somebody said I missed the last part of the session due to internet failure, so please send me the recorded session. Like I said, guys, you guys will absolutely receive the recording for all of this so that you guys can listen over and over again. The slides will also be there as well. I see a few questions, and then I'm even getting a few texts with some questions as well. One of the things that somebody says, what if I just can't come up with any type of intellectual property product? I get asked that question quite a bit, and seriously, if you guys will ask some of your closest friends and even family members, what is it, or even a spouse, what is it that people ask me over and over again to do? Because let's be honest, you're inside your own wine bottle trying to read your own label, and sometimes it gets kind of hard. So have somebody take an outside look and tell you what it is that you do over and over again that maybe you complain about, that if you have to teach that one more time. A cool example of one guy came to me, and what he got from a presentation like this is that he was tired of working for somebody else. So he came to me after I was doing a presentation on success secrets of owning your own culinary business at a chef meeting one time. And he says, I still work for somebody else, and I want to continue to work for somebody else. But instead of doing pop-up dinners in a savory form, he wanted to do pop-up dinners in a dessert form, where it was all about desserts. He wanted to do several courses of desserts. I kind of helped him to understand, to think bigger, that he could do that in, at different, he could celebrate different farmers and almost do, like a pop-up dinner in one of their fields. Of course, the weather had to be nice. But he can do milk, like cow juice, milk pairings with each of his desserts, so that, because each farmer's milk has a different flavor to it. He could do that on evenings and weekends. He eventually taught other chefs how to do those things. So I hope that kind of opens up your minds a little bit more for some of the things that you can do. If you guys have any questions about anything too, I'm going to give you my office number. My office number is 817-277-3031. If you have any questions about anything, please call. It's also in the chat section there as well. And then my email is there as well. It's deb@chefdeb.com. And feel free, call me, email me, whatever you need to do to get your questions answered. I just want you guys thinking bigger and outside the box. I would love to have you guys in eChef Club so that you guys can stop trading dollars for hours. A great low-level investment to kind of dip your toe in the water of coaching and kind of get you out from behind that stove. But we are going to keep this link. This link is going to be active for about the next 15 minutes till about 6:30. So if you guys are interested at all, click on that link. Again, call me, email me. Happy to answer your questions. I'm going to click on the questions section one more time to make sure that I didn't miss anything. One more. Can you address advertising ideas for personal chef services such as print, press releases, and social media? Honestly, if you are a personal chef, and some of the best advertising that I have ever done has been certainly not print. I don't buy print advertising unless they agree to do a story on me. If they will agree to do an editorial on me, when my ad runs, then I have always received a return on my investment. Print press releases, if you have something new, cool, and different to say and you are great at writing them, they can be very, very beneficial and can get you definitely some press. I was on Good Morning Texas the other day as a result of the press releases my marketing person Candace wrote. There's two ways that I have very successfully grown my personal chef business. One is through Google AdWords. If you can literally Google AdWords, and there is a whole tutorial on how to use Google AdWords. Make sure you point them directly to your personal chef page if that's what you're selling at that particular time. Usually your budget ideally should be around $75 a month, and they can hold you to your budget so that you don't go over it. They will literally shut the ad off for you. Google AdWords has been absolutely phenomenal in that. Number one, honestly though, is having an amazing website. My website brings me 80% of my clients because my website, I spent several thousands of dollars on my website, But my website for Savor is the Savor Chef, S-A-V as in victory, O-R chef.com. And we'll make sure and put that in the chat section for you guys so that you guys can take a look at that as well. But having an amazing website, investing the time and money, I did say money, into building that website so that I look amazing as a business owner, that I know what I'm doing with really great SEO. So I found a great web designer. Having an amazing website, because our clients are used to driving Mercedes and you know, Maseratis and things like that. If they were to go to a website to order one of those, that website would need to look like a rock star, or they simply wouldn't buy it. Our websites have to look like a rock star too. So rockstar website, Google AdWords, and then honestly, speaking in the community. If there is a group of business owners that are my ideal target market, having a signature speech so that they can get to know me has been phenomenal. I usually sign people up for personal chef services after I speak. Those things have been just phenomenal. Anytime you can get people in a room where all eyes are on you, it's worth it every single time. If you have some more questions about that, Chef Pam, just make sure and email me. If you're always great at organizing and staying met at your, okay, this is from Justin. Justin, you may have to help me here. If you're always great at organizing and staying net at your hourly job and no one can touch your quality of work, can this be a start to think big? I'm not quite sure what you're asking. Justin, if you could rephrase that for me. If you're always great at organizing and staying net at your hourly job and no one can touch your quality of work, can this be a start to think big? So I think that I know what you're asking, and actually, yes, it can, because if you have a special way that you organize things, you can actually teach other chefs and other business owners and other people how to do that. The hardest thing is getting it out of your head and on a piece of paper. I'm sure that one of the reasons you get hired is because of your organizational skills. You also said, I'm also a great note taker. Would it be a bad idea to share my raw notes or recipes in the works? No, not at all. In fact, people like to see those because most people don't have a clue how to write their own recipes, so you actually have a really great product there of teaching people how to think through how to write their own recipes, which then can lend itself to possibly a cookbook later on. So no, that's not a bad idea at all. In fact, guys, the more genuine that you are on to your audience, and you record things on your iPhone and you make mistakes, they see you as real people. Also, James says, do you recommend putting the fee on your website for dinners or personal chef services? I put popular services under, like for catering, I will put popular service options and a few fees. I will do that the same with personal chef services. With personal chef services, I have 3 different popular options, but it is very, very clear on my The Savor Chef website that everything I do is custom, but if you would like an idea of the services that we provide and the price point, here are 3 popular options. I do that so that I can weed people out that can't afford my services, and then if they do see a ballpark of what I charge, then they'll go ahead and call. So on our, if you're asking about like special dinners and things like that, we typically don't put catering prices a lot on our website. Like I said, we will do for to give them an idea. Again, go to my website, my personal chef tab, and see how you did it. This is from Jody. Thank you, Deb. You're so inspirational and helpful. I'm definitely getting some ideas. I love doing my personal chef business. I've worked in restaurants before. I've been known for my soups. Oh, people love to learn to make soups. I was even on the menu for them. I really don't want to get back into the restaurant industry, but feel making soups from my artist palette. Oh. Do you have any suggestions? Oh, sweetie. My gosh, my head is spinning. I have a ton of questions for you in order to do this. Not only can you create a whole company out of soups, and especially I love the word soups or your artist palette. I mean, you can turn a whole business brand into that. You can sell the recipes for your soups. You can sell one-off cooking classes for your soups. You can go into private homes and teach people how to make soups one-on-one. I mean, the possibilities are endless with soups because people absolutely love them. Chef Pam says, thank you, Chef Deb. That was very helpful. Says the eChef Club of $49 a month. What are the terms? Number of months? I heard you say with a 30-day notice that it can be canceled any time. Can you elaborate? Yes. So the $49 a month is a recurring charge. You can stop it and start it whenever you would like. If it's something that you want to do, you're welcome to cancel with 30 days notice. You will be billed $49 a month on your credit card. It will come out automatically. You will be sent information on all the calls. You will be sent all the eChef tips. You will be sent all the recordings. You will be sent all the information on the private Facebook group. I've had people in my program, most of the people in my program have been in the eChef program for years. And then some of them have stepped up to more private one-on-one coaching with me through my Master Chef or my private chef program where they get 1 hour calls with me every month. They're in their own mastermind group. They come to my kitchen every 6 months. I mean, there's all kinds of different levels. This is a starting point for most people in coaching. So I hope that answered your questions. Jody says, thank you. So guys, we are going to step off this call. If you stayed with us this whole time, thank you so much for staying with us. Again, all of my contact information there is in the chat section. I am also going to put my my culinary services company as well, so you can go there. At the very top is the eChef Club. Several of you guys are already signing up, and I am super excited to have you guys. I can't wait to spend some time with you on the phone and really hammering out these ideas, not only about your business, but just you as a person. I'm looking really forward to meeting you guys. Thank you so much for being on the call today. And again, we're going to keep that link up for another 7 minutes so you guys can take advantage of that 30-minute strategy session. You guys have a great evening. And again, thank you so much for being on the call, guys.